vocals and then
615 BNA. We got that fly DNA. It's our Delian Foundations. And we appreciate your patience.
Yo, welcome to MC2MC. I'm the lovely host Bandito.
My name is Adeli. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed up, man. Sun shining. Got my coffee. Got my original woke, you know what I'm saying? And we're just chopping up about hip hop, you know. How everybody's like coming back to that, tapping into that old school hip hop, like that nostalgia feeling.
Yeah.
Like the underground 90s vibe and whatnot.
It's funny. It's just like the universe is kind of creating this energy that's pulling everyone towards that. Like they're almost longing for it. Because, in my opinion, there was so much value in it, you know? Everything has its time, you know? And it's not to say that the current styles are just going to dissolve.
Right.
But I think there's like a natural need for the wisdom of that music. Like Nas was really saying shit in his stuff. You know, it wasn't just a cool style. It was like, listen to the wisdom in it. Yeah,
I mean, I think hip hop is just like the freedom of speech we was talking about. How without Uncle Luke and guys like him, we wouldn't be able to even rap. Cause that's all rap is freedom of speech. The freedom to speak your fucking mind and say fuck the police, say fuck your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Whoever. Right. So it was kind of like giving you a platform within itself to actually say those things, you know. Without Uncle Luke, shout out to Uncle Luke, we wouldn't have the parental advisory sticker. Wow. So if y'all didn't know that, Eminem would be no Eminem, no Ice Cube, no Tupac without Uncle Luke.
There would be no Eminem. You know? I mean, he definitely kicked more walls down, too.
For real.
Even today, if you listen to Eminem's music from like 99, it's still like shocking shit.
Yeah, so that's why, I mean, he made the parental advisory sticker even more relevant. You know, if you think about when he came out.
He should have two of the stickers on it.
Public Enemy, same thing. Think about the shit they were saying.
Right.
You know, it was fucking breaking down walls. They made motherfuckers feel like, you know, burning down the White House, you feel me? Don't do that, kids, but...
Like NWA, Straight Outta Compton, they kind of depicted something that they went through when they were performing in Detroit. And then they had the police waiting for him after the show. Yeah. Because they're just watching them.
Hip Hop Police.
Yeah.
Jay-Z in the Dakota book, let me get, he actually said he had Hip Hop Police following him for like years, all the way up through his career. Because he caught that case where he stabbed somebody for bootlegging his album, because bootlegging was a very crazy thing at the time. Like you couldn't bootleg. There wasn't no leaking, no streaming. So if you had somebody's album, that was all the money he was going to make. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was like...
So it's like you're directly stealing from him. You might as well go to his pocket and grab his wallet.
And he got the block mentality. Yeah, you could take the guy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the guy. So it was like, he still got the hood mentality, like, you on my block. You taking money out of my family's mouth, my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Right. So after that, Hip Hop Police was on him ever since. Like, every show, they'd be like, oh, you got that gun or whatever? And he was like, you got one? You know what I'm saying? It was just, you know, a bunch of stuff. So... Wow. Yeah, Hip Hop Police are real.
Yeah. But, you know, that's the beautiful thing is with hip hop, it's like the truest expression within music, in my opinion. I mean, like, because it's not just the music. It could be the words that drive you. It could be the beat. It could be whatever it is. But the importance to keep that alive is crucial, especially in this age of censorship, even through like Facebook and Instagram, all these social medias, how they're manipulating things due to the election. Yeah. You can't even put hashtags that are going through because of that censorship. You know, whether it's cool to mislead people as somebody that's a participant on Instagram or not, it's still kind of funny that like it's that serious where they're censoring it like that.
I mean, the censorship, I feel like it's getting out of hand because it's like a balance. Like Dave Chappelle, everybody's getting on to him. Kevin Hart, everybody's getting on him about the statement he made about his daughter being a hoe. It was just he's a comedian. It's a joke. But they took it too far and just took that like and just ran with it and just like even how he said it was like even not like super disrespectful. It was just like you could tell it was a joke. He's a fucking comedian. Like that's what a guy does. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of corny at that. So you know it's not like even Dave Chappelle, the way he's talking about like George Floyd and all these other things is like he may be the most important artist we have because he's actually like getting to the fact and it's consistent all the way through his material. From every show you watch from Dave Chappelle is kind of super consistent. Right. And comedians, they have the platform right now, speaking of censorship, to not be censored because they are the people that make us laugh at our own pain. And who else is gonna do that?
Right.
A rapper can't do that. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
can make you feel a certain way, but not like a comedian.
They're totally creative artists in their own right. We need them just as much as we need the MCs.
Facts.
Like Jerry Seinfeld, I remember reading like there's a science to it. The way you construct a joke, it can't be too wordy. You know what I'm saying? It's just got to hit just right. So he
Yeah.
would spend a lot of hours crafting one joke sometimes. It's the same way we do that one punchline. You know, so shout out to comedians. You know, we need them too.
We do, man. We need to be able to laugh at the stupid shit or the serious shit. Because sometimes shit can get too serious where you're feeling like, oh, man, how the fuck I'm going to make it to the next day? You get all these conspiracy theories come at you in the social media. You get into a rabbit hole, YouTube. And you're like, oh, shit, I gotta tell my wife. I got to tell my kids. I got to prepare for the doomsday. You know what I'm saying? But you need comedians to be able to make light of that. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel like comfortable with the situation, but not too comfortable where you're just like, you know, a pawn, but comfortable enough where you're like getting through your day.
Right.
You know, everybody needs to be able to get through their day with a laugh or a smile or something, even if it's just a little bit release or attention. So
Laughter is like the greatest medicine, and like they're like doctors on the low, right?
Yeah.
And
Facts.
so imagine if you start your day listening to something like a funny Chappelle skit.
Yeah.
You could listen to that, or you could turn the news on, so some really depressing shit.
Yeah.
And then which one's gonna dictate a better day? Probably the funny one. You know what I
Facts.
mean?
No,
Because
for real.
we're tapped into our natural vibration, which is higher. You know, a lot of things going on in the world are aimed to bringing us down,
Facts.
but we are infinite beings. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Infinite Waters and diving deep once again. It's a guy we listen to every day on a spiritual level because he's just always in tune with what's going on. So yeah.
Is that what the cat down the road said?
Yeah. So yeah, man, I was actually I actually stumbled across this article, man, about from Pigeons and Planes about Nashville artists, about the diversity of our sound. What was the name of the article? Was called "The Diverse Sounds of Nashville Raps Present and Future."
More confirmation that we're coming up.
Yes, more confirmation that Nashville is on the rise because Pigeons and Planes is a pretty big magazine. So that one of the quotes from one of the artists was Ro Marquez. He said, "The Ville is the artist's paradigm. Everything here is built around an art form, but the black hip-hop culture of this city runs deep, even spinning off the strength of the Jubilee Singers." Shout out to Fisk University, Jubilee Singers. It's soulful here. Nashville doesn't have a specific sound, and while it may be tight, I pray we never do. I respect that. Every artist here has a different sonic influences, and nothing sounds the same on our side of the scene. Even artists from the same neighborhoods, it's all unique and transparent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the article too. It mentioned a few other notable artists. Some from Clarksville, like Case
Ronald
Arnold.
Basie, Case Arnold, Ronald Basie, a bunch of other artists as well. AB Eastwood, shout out to AB. But yeah, what do you think about that statement?
No, I think it's absolutely true. There's so many different vibes of the city, right? But where does it stem from? I think that one thing a lot of people don't know about Nashville is that it's like a spiritual city. You know, if you look at some of the monuments around the city, the way things are crafted and shaped intentionally.
The
Parthenon, right? Bicentennial Park.
Bicentennial Park.
Or their Capitol View. The way that's shaped is arguably like the human chakra system.
Yep, it's like a wand.
Yeah, kind of like goes. There's a here. I can actually show it to the camera real quick because Foundation sent me this picture. So you see that.
And y'all can look it up as well. So
there you go.
But it is shaped like somewhat like a chakra system.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
a chakra system. So I mean, I'm just curious as to why that is. But assuming that's the case and it is very spiritual like that, all of us are so much more tapped into our spiritual side, especially post-corona, amidst corona.
Yeah.
That naturally we're just all kind of bringing our own truth to the table. We just maybe feel this energy to do so.
Just like Athens, we on the rise. You know what I'm saying? Athens of the South. That's what they call Nashville.
That's
So
what they call us.
and we do got a lot of spectacles around the city too. That kind of like underground tunnels and shit. Like my brother, his baby mom at the time, she went through a tour where they just took her to all the like spiritual sites of Nashville, and they had a tunnel that kind of leads all the way through Nashville.
Under downtown?
Yeah, downtown.
I think it goes all the way to Vandy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So even like the Batman building is what? Batman building, let me see. Y'all look up the Batman building's address. This is crazy. Watch this.
As they're looking it up, the Batman building is the only building like that in the whole world except one that's similar in Australia.
Yeah.
And something about the Batman building is like anywhere you're at in Nashville, north, south, east, or west, I always see that building.
Always.
The other ones around it, not so much. But the Batman, the way they like masoned that one,
yeah,
it's just like you can see it everywhere.
I mean, it is a Mason building because
333 Commerce Street.
333 Commerce Street. And guess how many floors it has?
33?
Yes.
Oh.
And it's right down the
Crazy.
street right across the street from Andrew Jackson, the little building right there for Andrew Jackson. And he was one of the first Freemasons that ever touched Tennessee. So a little known history fax machine right there. Built in '94. So that lets you know there's a lot of history here in Nashville.
The Batman building was built in '94. I don't know. Why did I just felt like it was there longer?
Me too. I guess because we grew up here.
The skyline really started coming up because you could see photos of Nashville from the 70s, and there's the LC building. That's the only skyline.
Lifestyle and
LNC
Casualty
Tower.
building. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, man, that's a good question. When was the Skyline building in Nashville? But
When was the skyline built in Nashville? I say like last week.
yeah, it's going. Our whole city is under construction. So if you're not from Nashville and you're watching this, yeah, come out to Nashville, man. It's after COVID, of course, but it's under construction. You can see all the cranes. We got like 30 cranes. I counted one day like 35 cranes.
Right.
I was just bored. I was like, I wonder how many cranes in the city there.
And that's been the case since at least 2014.
At least, man. Like, yeah.
When they coined Nashville to be the it city, I think it's still the case.
I think it is the it city. I'm gonna bring some more of these comments. Shout out to who was the person that wrote this up? Shout out to Jonas Mullins. He wrote the article on Nashville, and he gave props to like the Jubilee Singers. Some reason why we're called Music City. So he knew that history. He picked that up and was like, even though we getting like, subsided with all this gentrification,
Exactly.
but he got the Music City on point with the information.
He even said, Hattie B's and Prince's both exist. One
Yep.
is a lot more popular, right?
Yep,
But let's not forget that Prince's is the one that first came out.
The OG.
So let's
Shout out to Prince's.
pay homage.
Hell yeah, we need to get some Prince's chicken in here for real. But yeah, and I also did a lookup of shout out to all the artists who had a dope year with the streaming. I was looking at the wrap ups, the Spotify wrap ups.
Oh yeah.
And man, I mean, if this ain't the telltale that the city about to blow or is blowing, then you got another thing coming.
Major plays in like 92 countries.
Man, like shit. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with yours truly, myself. So thank all the fans out there. I got 18.5K, 308 hours of listening.
Nice.
Listeners, 15K, 17 countries. So that's just a
Wow.
drop in the bucket compared to these guys. So another person is Jesse Wilson, 339.5K to my sis,
Ooh.
18.1K hours of listening from her fans. Listeners, 92.K, 89 countries.
Wow.
It's like dominating. So
That's
shout
amazing.
out to Jessie Wilson doing her thing. My sis, another brother of mine, Lack Honey, 978.1K, 41 hours of listening, 269.7K listeners in 90 countries. And last but not least, Lord Goldie. This is just a couple I picked off of Instagram. My sis Goldie, she got 24.2K listeners.
Nice.
Streams. 1.2K hours of listening. 359 listeners in 21 countries. So that just gives you like a sum total of like and that's just 4 artists I just named from Nashville. So
add all that up, that's like 1 billion. You know what I'm saying?
that's a small stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, but that just means keep going. Especially there's been more notice towards Nashville, paying attention to us as artists.
Yeah.
Which is long overdue. Even different genres beyond hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's been more of a focus on black country singers as of lately, and that's
Really?
important too. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So the more light gets shed on everything, the more doors we can kick
Yeah.
down to bring everyone to unity You know what I'm saying?
For real. And I think probably most of that fan base that they was streaming our music is probably not even from Nashville, to be honest. It's probably from like outside the Nashville, most likely.
Like Pegram or something?
And I'm talking about out the state. Like I'm talking about like in Atlanta, LA, New York, probably bumfuck counties we don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Because music is, international. You got Spotify and TuneCore, you got all these platforms and opportunities to access different fan bases. You know?
Right.
Even like hip hop. I feel like real hip hop that's kind of like bring you back of nostalgia of Nas, Cool G Rap, and those guys, Talib Kweli and Mos Def. I think that's more accepted overseas. They are hungry and starving.
Yes.
For that.
Especially like Europe, I've noticed.
Europe, London.
They're kind of keeping that old hip hop alive. Shout out to them for that, because that's where a lot of the heart is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. UK rap, they took that shit and ran with it. Like they respect the fuck out of us. Shout out to Gecko, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. We just did a track, Heru style with it. Met him off this platform called Air Gigs, but we just produced a track that's going to be on the album the 12th on my birthday. Sad Season. He's going to be on the 12th of this month, so y'all be on the lookout. But even that sound that he produced, crazy.
Facts. Yeah, so I don't know if we mentioned it as of yet, but Heru has a new EP coming out on the 12th of December. So 12/12, be on the lookout for that. We got about 5 tracks on it. All of it fire, all of it what we want to put out there as far as that, could be a little grimy hip hop or a little poetic hip hop, just different aspects within it. So, it's easy to kind of like write people off as just like, oh, they're just like classic hip hop. But no, like listen to the lyrics and the versatility within it.
Yeah.
You'll encounter a lot of different styles within there. We even have one track that kind of pays homage to Bone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We tapped in on a lyrical, like triple the flow.
My man, Foundation sounded straight up like crazy. You guys will see. But be on the lookout for that for sure. It's fire.
Yeah. Now, I fuck with the whole album. Like, I really feel like it's going to be like a nostalgic moment for a lot of people, because I feel like we didn't even try to really tap into that like underground vibe, like hip hop vibe. I think it just naturally came. Like as soon as we heard the beats and the beat selections, that we both were like, oh yeah, that's that one.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of beats to choose from, but like we gravitated towards that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm trying to kind of tap more into, I guess, something that's more of today. You know what I mean? So I have been writing a lot myself.
Dope,
because I want to start getting into like songwriting. Yeah, absolutely. But like ghostwriting, songwriting, I wrote to a dance hall type beat the other day.
Okay.
I wrote into a few trap styles, and at the end of the day, I might be sounding contradictory, but I do love like the trap flow. I mean, there's a swag within it.
Yeah, you can admire something, you know what I mean? You have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
But I like writing to that, because it's like you purposely don't rhyme sometimes. It just sounds just like similar. Like, yeah, I'm off the leash. You can catch me, I'm eating beef. It's not rhyming, but the way they kind of do it is like it's cool. So it's cool to tap into that, another various style that, you know what I mean?
No, you gotta test yourself, man. Like, I grew up like rapping on everything. I don't care if it was a country beat, a rap beat, a hip hop, a pop beat, or R&B, slow track, or 4/2 beat, or 3/4 beat, whatever. I would just rap on it, because that's the only way I was gonna get sharp at being a rapper and being like, I can do it now. You know what I'm saying? So I doing that over and over. Me and my brother and my cousin being able to rap on any type of beat, it just helped us structure our flow even more, where we is more diverse.
You got to be on the Sway in the Morning, 5 Fingers of Death thing.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, I smashed that.
Long overdue, because you would.
I smashed the bummer clock. Yeah, man.
Shout out to Sway in the Morning.
Shout out to Sway. Hell yeah. Then you said Ebro. Shout out to Tim Jen. He got a interview with Ebro.
Yeah, he talked with Ebro, man, and Tim Jen. Hopefully we'll have him on the show one of these days. But his music was playing on Grey's Anatomy, Netflix
money.
Just dope as fuck, you know what I'm saying? So
people getting that Netflix money. You feel me?
Right. But everyone that's making big moves and staying focused, it's a result of their consistency. Right. It's not just like this person's just really talented. No, it's like when nobody believed in them, they kept trucking. You know what I'm saying? And that's the key. So don't stop. Don't get discouraged. Just go harder and get better. You know what I mean?
Get better, man. I mean, like I was telling I was talking to myself earlier. I don't know if y'all talk to yourself, but I was talking to myself like
that's
this
weird.
morning.
I'm just playing.
It was like it was like the higher power. I was talking to the higher power.
Okay.
And within myself.
Word.
So I was like, I was basically on some shit like, I hate when people blame you for the position they're in, right? So you know how you have people like that actually are doing shit, then you have people that are looking at other people doing shit and like seeing their situation and then blaming you for your situation. So I was like, people have to realize you have to get better every day for yourself, not because you're comparing yourself to the next person. So it was like, even like, if you're in the situation you're in, it's probably your choice. It's part of the decisions you made, part of the choices you made, right? So it's kind of like nobody's to blame. So the more you stop blaming yourself, blaming everybody else and blame yourself, it's kind of like you can grow out of that. You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of like evolve from yourself because you're like, oh, I got to take responsibility. I got to hold my own self accountable for what I do, my own actions. Then you start meditating. Y'all need to start meditating out there. Meditating.
Big facts.
And once you meditate, you'll realize all these thoughts will come up and you'll see all the choices you made that led you up to the moment. And then probably to blame somebody else for where you at. So, if you're going through some shit and you put all the blame on other people and hold other people accountable for choices you made in your present moment right now, I suggest you just go inside and figure out why you're in that situation and try to figure out ways to get yourself out of that situation. At the end of the day, everybody has their own choices. Everybody makes their own moves.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, the more we build ourselves, the more we facilitate the world. You know what I'm saying? So if I like refuse to make myself better, you know what I'm saying, and I go to a grocery store and I treat the clerk there like a jerk, then they're gonna send that energy to the next customer in line, at least partially or something like that. It's it's energy carries. Energy carries. So like you might do something you might do something nice for somebody that's traveling to Arkansas and then they're traveling here, and that energy goes with them.
Believe in yourself.
You got to understand that that's what we all consist of at the end of the day is energy. And so tapping into that in our best side and versions is crucial. So
no, you got to be able to believe in yourself to the point nothing else matters. Like nobody can defer you or deter you from where you're going. If everybody just actually wake up and like kind of like self-talk themselves, self-motivate themselves, or watch a fucking, a motivation video. Motivation videos get me through, I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
They get me through because it's like once you talking to yourself and you like hyping yourself up, nobody's gonna be able to hype you up like you can hype yourself up. Once you believe in yourself, it's like, get into the habit of doing that, inspiration is coming from you now. You're not waiting for another motherfucker to give you inspiration.
Exactly.
So
and also, like a lot of people tapped into like the law of attraction and stuff, right? But what they don't understand is that the law of attraction is a secondary law. Law of vibration is the primary law. Yeah. So first you have to be what you want to be in order to attract what you want to attract. You can't be like, I just want to attract a lot of money, come to me. No, like you have to like become that, and then the energy will follow.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, after that, we're going to cut to the commercial break and see you on the flip side.
Struggling to find that G? We've got musicians for that.
What's good, y'all? This is MC2MC. We're back. I did want to say we did briefly mention like classic hip hop and all that shit, but I want to say like I feel like there's a new renaissance coming, especially with the emergence of all these national artists that are hitting like these big papers and stuff, NPR and everything.
Like consistently.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Every week it's been somebody on NPR, radio, whatever.
Where they're talking about like Nashville specifically. So I think we just got to keep putting that energy out there. But yeah, it was kind of crazy this morning. So on my way here, I was listening to like Rakim, and then I come upstairs to the Upstate sound, and then I hear them playing "It Ain't Hard to Tell" by Nas. Wow. And then I see you pull up, and I can hear like Tupac in the car. I'm like, yeah. I'm in a good place right now.
That's dope.
But by the way, I was on IG, and I follow this group. It's called All Harlem Calm, I think. But so there's gonna be a new movie coming out about Big L.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's called Put It On. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited to see that. The little clip that they showed was dope.
Wow, Big L. And they don't tell me how many keys and pieces of the hip hop history that's in that one story.
Exactly.
You know, because you don't hear about Big L. People don't put him on the Mount Rushmore of rap, or they I know he died before his time, but they don't put him like up there. Like, I mean, I hear like legends talk about him.
Yes.
Because they were significant in their journey. Like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
There would be no Jay-Z in the story like without a Big L in like Dame Dash taking him to Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Introducing the Children of the Corn, Cameron, Mace. You know,
well, the infamous Jay-Z and DMX battle, Big L was holding the camera.
See what I'm saying? Come on.
He's right there in the same, you know what I mean, the same air as everybody.
Exactly. Cameron. You don't even get a Cameron
exactly.
without a Big L or a Mace.
Yes.
You know, sharpen them swords. Sword sharpen sword.
Shout out to Children of the Corn.
Yeah, shout out to
McGruff,
legends.
RP. Yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean? I'm excited about that. I think they're going to make like a Dipset biopic too. Oof, you know what I mean?
That's going to be epic.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, it is.
A Dipset fucking biopic?
Yeah.
That's going to sell out.
I mean, I'll be there.
I'll be there, man. We should get them to show it at the Belcourt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll pay for this shit. I don't give a fuck.
No, for real. Like, we should get them to show at the Belcourt, for real.
Maybe when that time comes, we'll create like a fundraiser, and then watchers of the show that support that hip hop can, you know what I mean, throw in for that.
Oh yeah, so I was thinking about something today this morning. I was like, you know how you could tell if somebody fuck with you? Mm-hmm. If they tell you that there's a booger on your nose, or you have a booger on your nose.
You talking about me?
No.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you know, you can tell if you got a team that fuck with you if they tell you like you got some shit on you on your face, like you know what I'm saying.
They don't want you looking like a fool.
Exactly, because you know it's like okay, so you know you got so many people watching you now.
Yeah.
When you get when you get
right.
when you get on a bigger level, it's like you got millions of motherfuckers. Okay, so one move, like you know, you may be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's like damn, what the fuck? Like you gotta have a team. You gotta have people that hold you accountable. You gotta have people like that always. Is your mirror and your reflection.
Right, and they give you the truth. They don't flatter you. You know what I'm saying? That's crucial.
Exactly. Like I also seen this quote. It was like, you need friends that talk shit in front of you and talk nice behind your back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's real.
That's real.
The people that's like fuck you in your face. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to like some shit, like they really care. Like if they really care about you, they gonna check you all the time. You know what I'm saying? But the people that don't care, they're not gonna check you. They gonna let a lot of shit slide. You be like, what the fuck? I was already hanging on the cliff and you didn't tell me. Like, and then the people who are around you, it may tell you, like strangers may tell you you're hanging off the cliff versus the person that may be beside. So it's kind of you definitely that's a good way to check. You know.
Yeah, and you don't want to take anyone for granted. I found myself like sometimes I'll get offended like if I hear somebody talk about somebody that's like a good friend of mine or something. Like maybe if I'm complaining about some shit, it's just in the moment, you know what I mean? It could be like a disagreement, but if somebody else says it, then that's another thing. It's like
no, that's respect. I mean, that's like a extension of you. Mm-hmm. You know, that's your friend. You claim it as your friend, so that's a reflection of you. You know, no matter what they go, you know what I'm saying? It's like talking nice behind you. You hear somebody talking shit about your friend, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to check them. Yeah. Because they looking at you like that's supposed to be your friend. You're not speaking up for him.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, exactly. So
don't talk shit about Fondito.
Integrity, you know what I'm saying? Keep the integrity. Oh yeah, speaking of integrity, shouts out to my man Leland for president. His march right here, you know what I'm saying? Super political, dope, intelligent black man in the working in the streets, in the community, trying to help people vote and get people education about miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? Miseducation.
What's he running for?
Well, he's not really running for president. It's just this is merch. But he's actually an activist. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually was on my wife's podcast. First, let's talk about it. Speaking of, she just dropped a new episode. Y'all go check it out. First, let's talk about it. But yeah, he was on there. But he's pretty much like an activist as far as like any type of leadership within the black communities. Anytime, you know what I'm saying, like people have bad information, he's able to address it and pretty much bring the facts home, you know what I'm saying, versus leaving people in the midst of like whatever's going on, Right. So he's just a big advocate in the community. I'm gonna give a shout out to him, man. He's dope dude, man.
That's dope.
Intelligent dude.
So what else you got going on, like music wise? So I know that me and you, as we mentioned, dropping that EP. Facts. I know that you stay busy. You make 20 tracks a day and shit like that. So what you got going on right now?
Right now I just dropped a single, Don't Wanna Wait. Like a little R&B electronic funk. I don't know what to call it, but it's on another genre. But it's just hit 1,500 streaming, so it's doing pretty good. I just dropped that last week, and it actually made 5 different playlists this week. So yeah. So I've been going hard, just promoting, just blogging, and figure out what works and what don't work, because it has really no genre. It's kind of its own thing. Of course, they're gonna put it in a box, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like its own thing. So it was interesting seeing a lot of like radio people, Spotify people, or Instagram people, Instagram influencers
respond
and give it feedback and like give me their feedback, because I was like, I learned more about the song.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The more different feedback. This is people from overseas in Britain, people from Spain, in Spain.
Yeah.
So it was like different personalities, different people from different backgrounds, different people who put together playlists themselves.
Right.
Like playlist curators. So it's interesting to hear their take on it after hearing their playlist, and it's like 20 different genres on this one playlist.
Right.
And they decided to put me in the middle of this thing. So I'm like, it's interesting to see how people give you feedback about your own material.
Yeah, they might have a whole different reaction to your music than you.
Yeah, for sure.
For example, like SoundCloud is a great tool to use to kind of get people's direct reaction from. And when I put Heel Hop on there, it was like surprising. Like of all the tracks, a lot of people were feeling the Much More track, where it's kind of like a singing song, kind of love song-ish. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting. I mean, those are the things to pay attention to. You don't want to just be in your own world with it.
No, that's real. I think you got to come up with different ways, like to touch different people, connect to different people. It may not be straight hip hop all the time, but if that's what you do, that's what you do. Sometimes it may be like this lane, and then I feel like if you do what you love, people are gonna gravitate. Somebody's gonna gravitate to it.
Yeah,
it's billions of people on the earth, so if somebody's gonna gravitate to it, it just depends on if you put your heart into it.
Yeah.
Did you put like something in it that's vulnerable that you can connect with?
Right.
And that's what I was talking to Gecko about. You know what I'm saying, about vulnerability. When he makes his music and beats and production, he's vulnerable when he does it. He was because we were talking about Tupac, how you can't. It's hard to be that vulnerable like a Tupac. That's why you don't hear that much genuine rap right now.
Right.
They ain't talking about shit.
Yeah.
And they not even genuine.
It's almost like cloaked the way they are. It's like, let's just run with this uniform style and make our own version of it.
And it's not vulnerable at all. I mean, the rappers you hear are vulnerable. You can
like, who the fuck are you, right?
Yeah. Even Kanye, you could tell he put vulnerability, especially in that Jesus is King album.
Right.
You can hear that shit. Even like Yeezus, you can hear that shit. It is punches through and grabs you, and you're like, oh, I can. Even though I might fuck with the music sonically, I fuck with the message and I fuck with the residency of it.
Right.
So
you got to be like a salmon in this game, swimming upstream while everyone else goes the other way.
Exactly. Pisces brother said into that himself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a Pisces, but I'm more like a shark though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a little fish. You know what I mean?
Too sharks.
But yeah, man, I think this was a dope episode.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Shout out to MC2MC Upstate. You know what I'm saying? Haruvan Woke Coffee coming soon. We're not gonna forget about your fans out there. But don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification button. Let us know what you feel about hip hop and what you think about some of the topics we talked about in the comments below. Yeah, man. Shout out to the team, and shout out to all the Nashville artists doing their thing on their grind. Don't stop. Keep pushing. 615, stand up. Salute.
Facts. And check out that new Heru EP coming on 12/12.
My birthday, so
hell yeah.
Yeah, drop a happy birthday in the comments too.
Yeah, please do that.
Bless up.
Peace.
What?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the episode, leave us a thumbs up and comment below if you have any ideas on what we can do next time.
Please subscribe and hit the notification. MC2MC give you motivation.
Heru.